Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening with me again. I am so happy that you're here. We're doing a few weeks of just chit-chatting with teachers about creating the life that you want. And tonight we're going to be talking about the secret to living a more fulfilling life as a teacher right here, right now, today. I love actionable strategies that you can take with you today. And I am so happy that you're here. So come on in. Please share a little bit about you in the chat. I'd love to know where you're watching from. If you're one of our students or if you're just a teacher looking to find more in life, you've come to the right place. I'm Casey Morris, mom to 5. I have 4 boys and a baby girl, and I'm wife to a high school principal, former 8th grade English and language arts teacher, and now I help teachers just like you have a sense of purpose again and find passion, whether that's in the classroom or outside of the classroom. Whatever your heart desires, I'm here to help you find more freedom and make more income and impact than you ever thought possible. And it is my pleasure to be here tonight. Man, it has been a wild and crazy ride to get here, but what a beautiful life that this is. So I have come from all kinds of different backgrounds and stories, and I've shared those over the last couple of weeks on the CEO Teacher podcast and here tonight. And I just want to share how you can start living a more fulfilling life right here today, no matter what your circumstances are, no matter where you've been or what's going on in your life. In order for us to get to the life we want and to create the life of our dreams, we have to start living life now. So if you're ready for that, come say hello in the chat. Hey Shanna, good to see you. Hey Robin. Hey Christy, so glad you're here from South Louisiana. Christine, good to see you from Ohio. We are a community full of over 3,000 teachers. We call ourselves the CEO Teachers, and we have kind of taken all of this into our own hands. I know you've been through a lot in the classroom over the last few years, and I just want to be your light. I want to help you shine bright either in the classroom or outside of the classroom. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to share my screen with you guys. And if you have a teacher friend that you're thinking of that could benefit from tonight's show or just benefit from this in general, tag them down below in the comments section so that they can see this even after it airs, and hopefully we'll be able to give them some real positive teacher talk. And I am so grateful. Hey Melissa, hey Asia, Alyssa, good to see you. And if you're just getting started, let's say that you've never ever tried to make more income as a teacher online. You've never tried to sell your teaching resources. You've never tried your hand at Instagram. You've never tried to start a podcast. You have no idea what you want to do. You just know that you were meant for more and you're interested in having more freedom and more income. I would love to invite you to take our free quiz. Go to caseymorris.com/quiz. Team Casey will drop that link down in the comments section below. If you take that quick 2-minute assessment, I will show you your unique path to making more income online. It's super quick, super easy, and then I'll be chatting with you in your inbox in the weeks to come. Now, I want to ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fulfilled and happy do you feel with life in general? So I always think there's room for improvement. I'm going to go with a 9. Okay. I always think we could go a little higher. The best is yet to come is my motto. I've got it tattooed on my arm. If you're a listener of our weekly podcast, you hear me say that at the end of every single show. So I want to hear, how do you feel though as a teacher in the classroom, or if you're teaching online? I want to know in general, how fulfilled and happy do you feel? We got 6.5 in the house. Rachel says 7. I love that teachers are like, they're not going to give me like just a number. They're going to give me 6.5. I'm waiting. We got 7.5. Let's see. Lindsay says that she is a 6. Well, we're on the upward side of things. I'm a glass half full kind of girl, so I love that. Marissa says 6. Rebecca says 4. Shanna says 6. As a teacher in the classroom, I'm going to give it a 2. Julie, thank you for being honest. And so I'm going to give you a lot of different steps tonight. They're not difficult. They are just something that you can be aware of in your day-to-day life that are going to help you hopefully make that number just a little bit higher every single day. And as you begin to fall in love with the process of your life, then you'll be able to be happy whenever you get to wherever there is or whatever hope or dream that you want. I wanted to share a personal photo of me from 5 years ago that came up on my Time Hop, which is a fun app if you don't have it on your phone that just kind of tracks back in time. And I sent this to my best friend 5 years ago. And I was showing her my new hairdo, which, it was very interesting at the time. And then it came up on my Time Hop a few weeks ago. So I sent it back to my best friend and I was like, hey, wow, 5 years ago today. And I was joking. I was like, yeah, I was so skinny. And she responded back with this comment. She said, and so unhappy. Look at your face. And I hadn't even taken a moment to look at the girl that I was looking at in the mirror. I was tired, I was overworked, I was underpaid. I loved my job. Do not get me wrong. My purpose is not to bash the profession. I loved being a teacher. I was an 8th grade teacher. I love sassy middle schoolers, but I was tired. And I hadn't even taught during the pandemic, so I can't imagine what so many of you feel. So it was just an interesting way for me to think, man, I didn't have the light inside of me that I really needed at that time. And I wish I could have been in love with the process of life, the day-to-day. I wish I could have fallen in love with it back then so that I could be even happier where I am right here today. So how do you live a more fulfilling life as a teacher? Well, inside of the book of what it means to live life to the fullest, it says continually reaching out for newer, richer, deeper, life-changing experiences. That's one of the keys there to living a more fulfilling life as a teacher. It means using those experiences as a means for personal growth and pushing the boundaries of yourself mentally, spiritually, and intellectually for the betterment of yourself and the world at large. So when was the last time that you challenged yourself mentally, spiritually, and intellectually? I know for me, when I was teaching back then, it wasn't very often. And so I want you to start with step one. And step one to living this type of life is to prioritize your life. And it may sound silly, but I want to ask you, let me know in the comments, what are you putting first in your life today? And when I say putting first, I mean, what have you said yes to that has made you say no to something else? I remember when I first heard that, I thought, oh man, every time I say yes to this at work, I'm saying no to my kids. I'm saying no to my husband. I'm saying no to dinner at the table. What have you said yes to today that has made you say no to something else? Rachel says she's putting her health first, which is amazing. I love that answer. Linda says she's putting Jesus first. I love that. And if you're big on calendars, I love to prioritize your life by putting first things first. That's what Dr. Stephen Covey says is if you can put first things first in everything that you do. So Rachel, you said health. So in every decision that you make, you have to be cognizant of how can I put first things first? I got to put my health first. So that means every little decision I make today is going to be one more decision towards my goal. I'm going to stand up more today instead of sit at my desk. I'm going to try to walk an extra 1,000 steps. I'm going to make a good decision when I go out to eat fast food, and I'm not going to get French fries. I'm going to get a kale salad instead. So making those small little decisions every single day are really going to help you prioritize your life in the best way possible. Calista said, I put my students in teaching first. Thank you for being honest with us on that. And she said, which makes me say no to my sanity and my family. Amen to that. So number one was to prioritize your life. Number two is forget material possessions. And I threw this one in here as something that I struggle with. And I think that a lot of people in today's day and age, especially in the world of influencing and TikTok and Instagram and Amazon, there is so much stuff people are pushing our way. But there is an old saying that says money talks, but wealth whispers. So it's easy to want to keep up with the Joneses. It's easy to want to get the new ride, to get the new house, to get the new rug that you saw that someone shared, to get the new glasses. All of those things are just so easy. It's an easy click of the button. But if you learn to forget material possessions, you can really start living a more fulfilling life. So how can you stop this cycle of buying things in life so that you can feel more fulfilled? Because I don't know if you know this, but shopping is an addiction, and addictions work by really increasing dopamine in our brain. So you do get a high from shopping. You get really, really excited, but then what happens? You get the new stuff, and after 24 hours, it's not new anymore. If it's a vehicle, it probably lasts a lot longer than 24 hours. But if you get something new, just remember that it only lasts for this long. That high of dopamine, that excitement, only lasts for a little while or until something becomes not new anymore. So try to find happiness in your day-to-day activities by walking outside and saying, thank you, God, for this cotton candy painted sky. We get a lot of those here in South Georgia this time of year. Thank you, God, for the green grass. I am loving that days are starting to get a little bit longer and we're having a little bit more sunlight. You know, how can you go about your everyday and really learn to forget material things, but be grateful for things that cost nothing, yet are given to you every single day? Okay, so number 3 is to find 3 things outside of the classroom that bring you joy. So I want you to tell me 1, 2, 3 real quick in the comments. What are 3 things? And I don't mean big things that we all are grateful for, like our family. Of course, we're grateful for our family. Of course, we're grateful for our health. But what are 3 things that are specific to you as a person that bring you joy right here today? Number 1 for me today, besides my family and my faith and all of that, is Colleen Hoover. She brings me joy. Please tell me someone knows who that is in the comments, because I brought it up at the gym the other day and it was like crickets. So I was like, okay. I mean, you are my people here at the gym, but you're not my people when it comes to reading. My Kindle is bringing me so much joy lately. And Colleen Hoover has been so good. Oh, Janelle says camping. You're speaking to my soul. Riding my dirt bike. I love that. Lindsay says my crafts. When I was in the classroom, I couldn't tell you. I remember I was listening to a podcast and someone said, tell me one thing that brings you joy. And I started crying. My identity was a teacher. My identity was a wife, was a sister, a daughter. My identity was not me anymore. It was what everyone else needed from me. So when I started finding things that truly brought me joy, I began to be happier again. And I began to really live a more fulfilling life. Thank you for sharing, guys. My Jeep is so excited. It's used and it's old and I get giddy every time I drive it. That is so awesome. Alyssa said art and piano. Cool. I just contacted a gymnastics place and I'm going to start taking tumbling once a week. I'm going to learn how to do a back handspring again because it sparks joy. And if it sparks joy, then that's what we need to do. Rebecca said my journals, Netflix, and tea. Yes, I love me some sleepy time tea. Thanks for sharing all of these, guys. It just feels good when you remember things that bring you joy, and it allows you to really live that life. And the old saying of if you don't put your oxygen mask on first, then you have to put your own oxygen mask on first. And I used to think, no, I'm going to put it on my kids. But I can't hold my breath but for like 2 seconds, not even 2 minutes. So how am I going to be able to save my kids if I don't save myself? So we as teachers don't do that enough. We are constantly taking care of other people because that's what we do. So I want you to try to remember every day is how can I put myself first and find 3 things outside of the classroom that bring me joy. So just a quick recap, prioritize your life, forget material possessions, and find 3 things every single day that make you happy and bring you joy. Number 4 is become disciplined in your habits. If you're an avid listener of our weekly show, the CEO Teacher Podcast, you've heard me say this a lot, but you have to start with one habit that you want to build and commit to yourself. Stop breaking those promises. Now, the promise I made to myself this year is that I was going to drink less. I love my red wine. I love a good beer. I'm going to be honest. And I love to sit down with my husband, watch trashy reality television, and have a drink. And I have a drink every single night. I did until 2022. I hated the way that it had a hold on my life and I wanted to be in charge. So I decided to create a new habit, which is drinking sleepy time tea at night. It's it's getting in bed with my Kindle, and it's trying to reprogram my mind. And I've done it. We're in February and I'm feeling better than ever. Do I have a few drinks on the weekends? Yes, but I have really prioritized myself and my life. So what's one habit that you want to stick with? I want you to make that comment right here to yourself tonight. And it's just one, guys, one habit a day, one habit a month. You don't have to change everything. I think that we get confused and see we got to drink all this water, we got to eat 1,500 calories, we got to go to the gym 5 times a week. No, all you need is one simple thing that you can stick with. And once you get good at that, then we'll add on something else that we want to do. Weekly Pilates class, Dawn, I love that. Rachel's meditating first thing in the morning. Yes, I just finished reading Miracle Morning, and he talks about why that is so important. Shanna said she's going to be working out. Jen said going to bed earlier. Yes. So another example of a habit is I fell in love with CrossFit, and now I have prioritized it on my calendar. I get up at lunch every day instead of going out to eat, and I go to CrossFit 3 to 4 days a week. 2 to 4 days a week. I don't always get there 3 to 4 days a week, but I try. So I thank you for sharing your habits. Zumba, a lot of them deal with exercise. Alyssa said drink more water. Cheers to that. Number 4, so recap, was to become disciplined in your habits. Now I touched on this briefly, but number 5 is fall in love with the process. If you're not happy here, you won't be happy when you get there. And I used to think that money would bring more happiness. And I think that we've heard that term, if you don't come from money, you think when I get there, when I make that much money, I'll be happier. And yes, money makes life easier, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't make you happier. If you aren't happy here, you won't be happy there. And you have to really water that grass right where you are. Because if you try to tell yourself that you'll be happy when you get there, what happens is you get there and then there's another there. You get there and then it's but this. And I am still guilty of this. Our team will tell you I get the best thing ever and then here's all the ways we're going to fix it. Sometimes you have to stop being a fixer and start appreciating the here and now. And it's a constant battle, a constant reminder, a constant change. You know, you lose the weight, now I got to get abs. You cut your hair off, now it looks good, but I want to grow it out 3 more inches. I love this outfit, but now I need to get a new one. So we have to start to learn to fall in love with the process of, I'm not walking every day to hit 10,000 steps to celebrate. I'm walking every day to feel healthy. I'm walking every day because I enjoy it. I get out in the fresh air. I'm listening to books. Because when you fall in love with the process, everything really changes. So instead of focusing on the goals you are working towards, I want you to really, truly romanticize and enjoy the process of it all. I'm starting to romanticize like my relationship with my husband and my kids. Bath time is hard at my house with 5 kids. It is a rotating door. I'm bathing babies. I'm putting pajamas on. We got baby lotion here. We got diapers here. I got one kid fighting this other kid over homework. It is a disaster. It is a 3-ring circus. But I'm starting to say, why am I mad? This is coming. Every day we're going to bathe. We are all going to take a shower. Why is this stressful? And I started really romanticizing the process, enjoying that moment with my kids and really enjoying the time with my babies because I know how short it is now after I've seen all my other kids grow up so fast. So romanticize every little thing in your life and it's going to help your life be more fulfilling. For example, if you want to eat more at home and you want to cook, then start making it romantic to yourself. Put on a playlist, grab a beverage of choice. It can be tea, it can be wine. Put your favorite tunes on and light some candles and say, you know what, I'm going to fall in love with this process and we're going to eat dinner at the dinner table tonight. So number 6 is to remove toxic relationships from your life with people, food, environments, and more. This was the hardest thing that I started doing 5 years ago, is that you get stuck in your ways of hanging out with the same people, of doing the same things, of, it's 2 for Tuesday, or it is, let's say that you're going out to trivia night. I'm giving you examples of things that I have in my life. So I love those things, but they really put a damper on the rest of my week. So I have to take that and go, you know what, I got to remove that from my life right now. I got to get my stuff back together and do better. Or if I'm talking to someone that's negative or that talks about other people, I got to remove that from my life. There are some things that you can't remove from your life if it's someone that means a lot to you and is important, but you can start removing that energy or that environment from your life and start trying to make things more upbeat and trying to turn the conversation around. So wherever you are, whoever you hang out with or whatever feels toxic, take inventory and then start being cognizant of how you respond to those people, of what you put on your plate, and start getting rid of all the toxicity. All right, number 7 is to become a lifelong learner. I am finishing up reading a book called Sharp, and it was written by a brain surgeon. Oh, it's so good. You can always check out our books at caseymorris.com/I think it's books. Team Casey will put that link down below, but I am a lifelong learner, and I want you to become one too. But in that book, Sharp, the brain surgeon has seen tons of different brains, from 90-year-old people to young children. And what's crazy is that the healthiest brains are from people that are constantly challenging themselves to become a lifelong learner, that are learning new tricks, that are reaching for more, and not in a way that is unhappy with the life you live now, in a way that is, what more can I do to enrich my life? And becoming a lifelong learner is one of those things. So what do you want to learn this year? I shared I wanted to tumble again. I wanted to learn how to do a back handspring, and I have to relearn that. And it's going to be hard because I'm 35, and it's going to be painful because I'm old. I'm not old, but you know what I mean? A lot different than I was when I was 15. So I want to relearn that this year. So what do you want to learn? My husband said he wanted to learn piano. My kids all shared things they wanted to learn. So what is something that you can learn, if you'll share it with me, that you don't already know, that you can do this year? I also want to learn how to be a great gardener. I'm obsessed with Ron Finley from Masterclass, and he shares about, he calls himself the ghetto gardener, and I want to be a gardener. I want to have that for my family, and I want to watch my kids harvest it. So do something that makes you happy and allows you to become a lifelong learner. Okay, Dawn says, I'm taking 2-stepping lessons. I would love, what is 2-stepping? I don't know. I just want to learn how to indoor garden all year. Christine, that's a great goal. I love that. I want to learn how to use my Cricut. It's just been collecting dust. Calissa, let's do it. Alexandria said, we are planning a vineyard this summer. Yes, yes, yes. Ron Finn, he is epic. I could watch him and listen to him all day long. Relearn the piano. Alyssa, I love that. Challenge yourself is number 8. And again, this kind of goes in line with everything that we've chatted about with really living a more fulfilling life as a teacher. But what have you let hold you back because of the fear of the unknown? We're going to jump off the boat, guys. We're not great swimmers. We don't have a net, but we're going to jump off that boat, and we are going to face our fears, and we're going to make big leaps this year. 2022 is our year. It is a teacher movement like never before, and I am 100% convinced that the time for educators to start living their best life ever, I know that wasn't correct grammar, is here and now. So let's do that together. Get outside of your comfort zone, because that is where true growth is. So here is a quick recap of how to live a more fulfilling life as a teacher. We're going to prioritize our life, forget material possessions, find 3 things outside of the classroom that bring us joy. We're going to become disciplined in our habits. We're going to fall in love with the process, remove toxic relationships, become a lifelong learner, and we are going to challenge ourselves. I wanted to share just a quick way on how you can receive a one-on-one coaching call with me every single week. We do this fun thing on the CEO Teacher podcast where all you have to do is leave a review on your podcast app. And at the end of the review, you can ask a question. It can be a question about anything from mindset to business, and we will answer that question on air every single week. It's been a great part. We call it CEO Teachers in Training, and it's just a wonderful quick coaching session that will help you get started on a life of more freedom And that can include more income and more impact than you ever thought possible. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I'll be back here next Thursday night at 7:30, where we're going to be sharing about creating the life that you want. I'm going to give you 3 quick steps that'll show you how I can take you from here to there. But before we get there, I want to make sure you're falling in love with the process tonight and not the product. So make this week the best week ever. Fall in love with your day-to-day routines, romanticize all of the things that are in your life, and I'll see you right here next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching, and as always, remember, the best is yet to come, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.